everyone. So some of you might be wondering why I'm reviewing a teen sex comedy instead of my usual fare of horror and action films. The reasons for that are twofold. The first is I, like all of you should, read Roger Ebert's book, Your Movie Sucks, where he called this movie, and I'm quoting, a nasty piece of business, which of course stoked my curiosity as it's in his book of worst movies he saw from the late 90s to the mid 2000s. And the other reason is I was at my local Family Video, which thank God for video stores, or else I wouldn't watch half the movies I watch. Please stay in business. Yeah, I'm reading from cue cards again, so anyway, not reading from, but I've just got some notes jotted down here. So anyway, and it was there for 50 cents, which is, of course, a steal. So I picked it up. So, like I said, it's a teen sex comedy from like 2004, clearly trying to capitalize on the success of the American Pie movies. It stars Elijah Cuthbert as the titular girl. What am I from New York? It's the titular girl, and Emile Hirsch as is the protagonist. Timothy Olyphant is there as well, but I'll talk about his role in a second. So Hirsch is a young man who is senior in high school. He's just about to graduate, and he's unsure of what he wants to do. Like, he knows he's going to go to Georgetown, but he's got to win this scholarship contest, yada, yada, yada. So anyways, late one night, he sees that this young, like 18, 19-year-old, has moved in next door, and so, he's immediately smitten with her, and the thing is, I'm going to have to get into, like, one of my problems with it earlier, because it's in the plot, and normally I was going to save that for the end, but, he spies her undressing, and she comes over to take him for a ride, and then forces him to strip down to his tighty whities in the middle of the street as an act of revenge. And I guess this is how they bond, because that happens with normal people, right? That's how you meet your prospective other when they're staring at you through a window. More like that's how you get the cops called on you and slapped with a restraining order. But it's a movie, I'll forgive it. So they start dating, and then one of the main character's friends informs him that his girlfriend is a former porn star, which throws this wrench right into the relationship. But everything seems to be going fine until her previous manager comes back, played by Timothy Olyphant. And this is, I think, the biggest reason I wouldn't want to recommend this movie is right here, because Oliphant's character is evil. You know how some film antagonists, they're not, evil, they're just misguided, whatever. His character is evil, totally not belonging in this, dumb, raunchy film. Like, he belongs in a movie where John McClane shoots his head off, okay? That's what kind of movie he's just stepped out of, because he basically forces Cuthbert's character to go to Las Vegas for this adult entertainment convention. I guess that's the thing. And beats up Hirsch's character. And then at the very end, he gets away with all of it. It's like, karma doesn't come back to bite him in the tuchus. No, he just gets to ride off into the sunset, I guess. That's a big problem I had with this movie, because I kept rooting for something bad to happen to him, like Hirsch's character would press charges for assault or something, or he'd like speed and it turned out he was like drinking or something. Nothing. He gets to go about his life as if nothing happened. So and then the plot is basically Hirsch trying to win back Cuthbert, and then Oliphant's character takes money out of this account that was supposed to bring some Taiwanese kid over, that Hirsch had raised this money to do that. So he's got to now make up the money back, and he decides he's going to make it up by making a sex ed film to update the school's pitiful one from like the 60s, which was pretty funny. So that's the plot. The soundtrack's decent. It's just weird. The soundtrack, I mean, it's like they took songs that they liked and threw them at the footage and basically said, all right, well, that can go there, that can go there, with no regard for whether or not the music actually fits the tone or mood. So here's an example. The opening of the film is set to a montage to Queen's Under Pressure, which, if this were a smart movie, would be like the character's got to write this speech. Okay, that's when you use that song, because he's actually under pressure. No, it's just here because I guess the filmmakers thought it sounded cool. Okay, so then when he first sees Cuthbert's character, she's like walking in slow motion. Yeah, you're supposed to focus on her because she's eye candy. What do they play? The Killing Moon by Echo and the Bunnymen, who you might recall did the version of People Are Strange and Lost Boys. And The Killing Moon always reminds me of Donnie Darko. But it made sense in that movie because it's a sense of foreboding and dread, not sexiness. That I don't know. Then, it ends with Baba O'Reilly. I don't know why. There's Marvin Gaye in there for no reason. And no, it's not sexual healing or let's get it on, because that would actually be kind of funny. No, it's what's going on. Can't make it up, people. So I said that. The pros of this movie, or all the actors are good. Characters overall are good. The cons, the movie, it's a ripoff of Risky Business. As I was summarizing the plot, I was wondering when I was gonna drop that A bomb. It's a kind of a Risky Business ripoff. Not that that's a bad thing, as I said when I was talking about The Mummy, because if it reminds me of something good without making me want to watch something good, that's good. But there were parts in this one where I thought, Risky Business did this better. And I'd kind of rather be watching Risky Business right now. Only at some points, though. It's like when Timothy Olyphant's character came in, because I just hated him. And he's not like one of those villains that you love to hate, whatever. He's a villain that in an action movie would be thrown off a cliff with like a bomb strapped to him, and someone would say, don't blow up at people or something. I don't know. I'm not good at coming up with stuff like that on the fly. So the verdict. Would I recommend this movie? Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of hard to recommend a movie like this in good conscience, because yes, it was enjoyable in parts. There were some kind of funny lines, yada yada, but there are some parts that didn't have me laughing, had me cringing, especially some of the more homophobic jokes. Which, yes, it was 2004, but come on, we're supposed to be tolerant, god damn it, especially when it's set in California. Now I seem to have run away from myself. Verdict. Maybe. If you like dumb, raunchy comedies, watch it. You might like it. If you really don't, this certainly isn't going to change your mind. That being said, I liked it for the most part. But you might not, and I could understand why people don't. I could understand why Roger Ebert didn't like it. I don't understand why he put it on his worst movies of the 2000s, but I can understand why he didn't like it. I'm Hank. I'm signing off.